Good morning, everyone.
Oh,
Good
come on.
morning.
I'm trying to make some coffee, y'all. I'm on the West Coast. Oh,
It's about 5 o'clock there, ain't it, on the West Coast, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
um,
4,
no, 6 now.
6,
6 now.
6.
We just go to bed too late. I only haven't made it up yet. I'm like, okay, you coming, you coming. I'm gonna see if I can get him up.
Y'all ready for this week? North Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Now, I'm just joining y'all, so ooh, trying to grasp everything.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yo, how's everybody doing? Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Wesley.
Good morning.
Hey, Davina, did
Yeah.
y'all get the, or Wafi or whoever, did you all get the lifetime or did y'all do the monthly?
Monthly.
Monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Please.
still waiting on my email, but Kenny did the monthly.
Yes. Yes. Please always do the monthly. Never do the lifetime.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
long did it take you to get your email, Leslie?
Um, I from that it came about 4, 5 p.m. that same day on Friday,
Oh,
maybe, when I checked my
oh,
email.
okay. I'm still waiting on mine. Okay.
Maybe because you
I'm
so
sorry.
late.
Email for what? I'm new.
Leslie, you got qualified too, Leslie?
Yes, ma'am, on Friday.
Oh,
And it was so crazy
congratulations.
because the day before I was telling Wafi, I was like, I'm too emotional for this. I can't do it. This is
Mhm.
not for me. But then the next morning, I was like, let me just buy a new account, start from scratch. And I got in on that bearish downtrend that happened. And
Uh-huh.
that's what, boom, it just happened that day.
Yes.
Wow.
Excellent, excellent. All right, guys. It seems like some of us are new. I see we have Zenith joining us. Good morning, Zenith.
Good morning.
Yeah, so everyone's talking about essentially getting qualified for their funded account
Okay.
futures trading. So um don't be too startled. Obviously you just joined, like literally. So you'll get you'll get all the information you need to get on track with everyone.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So it's all good. Cool. I see my bro Mike Houston here, one of the veterans here at Option Snipers. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, morning everyone. Morning, Wasi.
Good
Morning.
Good
morning.
morning.
Mike has been with us for quite a while. I actually went to college with Mike Houston. He's, I would say, probably one of the most polished track stars that we had at Howard University. Isn't
That's
that
definitely a fact. I appreciate you.
dang? It's crazy to even think about how the fact that we met like 10 years ago. That's crazy. That's 10 years now. Probably even more
Man,
than more.
for
Howard
sure, for sure.
University.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got a chance to visit Howard University, and my cousin lives out there, and out there in that area, and he took us there. One of his friends was getting a master's there, and Tony got a chance to go there and sound his shofar and share on the shofar.
That's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lovely campus. Yeah, we had a lot of fun there too. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, guys. Give me just a quick second to pull up my screen so that we can get it started. And then we can go from there. Pastor White is talking about
All the HUs.
Hampton Institute. I mean,
Don't
that's
get
cool.
these Howard people started.
That's cool. Yes.
First
So-
of all, it's university. It's not institute.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
There you go. You better defend your alma mater.
I was there when it was institute, but now it's
Okay.
university. Thank you very much.
Here's another one of our veterans, Mr. Mike White. Mike White's been with us for quite a while as well. A couple of years now, I think. So nice to have you here with us, bro. So yeah, we're gonna get started here in just a sec. Just trying to pull things up. Hope you guys had a great weekend.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes. Davina, you actually, because I wasn't going to do any trading last night. I was just going to study. And when y'all was talking about, oh yeah, I just passed this, I passed that, I was like, let me hop in real quick. So I made a quick little, not quick, but I made a little 200 there. I could have made more, but I was like, all right, I don't need to be in this because it's already late. It's not that much momentum. So let me just get out and sleep.
Yeah, the
But I still
volume
made a
wasn't all that
profit.
great. That's good. Yeah,
So
because the
thank you.
volume is not. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. I was just waiting for from Friday because it had hit the buyer zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I was waiting for that. So yeah.
That's good.
But it shot up so quickly. It was like, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I got in, it was like, oh, it was so quick. But I made my goal, so that's all that matters.
That counts.
Yeah, and congrats.
Thank you.
You went long, Davina, or
Yeah.
okay?
Mm-hmm. It was just going up the whole time too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was heading up to the seller zone. So yeah.
And it hit it
It did.
sometime this morning, and now it was going down. I haven't checked since like 30 minutes, but it was like going down since hitting that zone at the top.
Yep.
I was like, I could just stay in and go long, but I want to go to sleep and not risk it. So
Thank you so much for sharing those videos. We watched them yesterday and man, it made a world of difference. So thank you so much.
yes, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, Josh put me on to him when I was talking to him on Friday or Thursday, one of the days, I don't know. But I was like, okay. So then I watched it. I was like, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. And he's really good at explaining the concept. So that's so better.
The market's gonna open in just a few minutes. But we're still getting situated here. My computer's just acting up this morning, y'all. Just bear with.
My computer died. I went and bought another one.
So it says my account is labeled something else now. So is that the username I log in with?
Say it again, Leslie.
So it says my performance account is active and it is labeled something else. So is that my username? Because
Send me
it says
a screenshot. Send me a screenshot to my text message. Yeah.
Okay. I'm on my earpiece. I'm sorry if I'm low, you guys.
No worries. Okay. Okay, Leslie, no, so that's not your username.
Okay.
That's just the name of your account. Meaning like that's gonna allow you to differentiate this account between like a different account that you might have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because every time I go in here, it keeps taking me to the simulation.
Every time you go into it, it takes you to the simulation.
So when I log into Tradeovate,
Yeah.
it keeps me saying select a training mode. Access simulation is all that's popping up, like it was
Okay.
before.
Yeah, so what we found out is that it is still going to be simulation. It's considered live, but it's still going to be simulation. They want you to be
Okay.
consistent for a while, and when they see you, they track. Apparently, they track it, and once they see that consistency, then they'll switch it over to the API, which is which is the live account.
Yeah, I
So we
see.
were, yeah, because we were thinking that we were saying the same thing. Why is it saying simulation? And then we looked it up. And then we
Okay.
looked it up in Trade of A, and that's how it works. So yeah, it's live. It's still live,
Yeah, like
but
they still
but
pay you.
yeah, but they're just tracking it. And once they see that consistency,
Yeah.
then it will switch over to live.
Yeah, and it's gonna be probably like in 3 months or so of consistency.
Yeah.
Is what I because I like emailed their support also just to make sure I was reading what I was reading. But yeah,
Mhm.
all right.
Yeah, it was populated actually my new account because when I logged
Mhm.
in 9, it was still taking me there, but it just my new account just popped up.
Just populated. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened the same for Kenny as well.
Mm.
All right, guys, you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. Cool. All right, we're finally here. So the market just opened. So we didn't really get a chance to do much pre-market, but I'm gonna start showing you guys a little bit about how I make my trend lines and things like that in the market. But since we're here already live right now, what I'm seeing currently is that this is a sell zone, it looks like here around 54.65, which is where we're just coming down from.
Mhm.
Okay. So obviously, and the reason why we're saying that is because we're forming a double top, right? We
Right.
formed a top here around 7:28 a.m. Now we formed another one right before open at 9:28. So we're gonna know if we're gonna be going buy side if we're begin to start trending over 54.65. But if we don't get above 54.65, then it's gonna look like we're gonna potentially start coming back to the downside. Okay. So that's what it looks like currently. So this green line right here, we see 54.65, right? Meaning
Mhm.
this is the last time we got as high as we could go on this run. Okay. So it's basically as though it's like basically halting up at this area, right? So essentially every time we touch 56.65 up here, right? We start to see a little bit of downside. Now, if we're not able to start to really reach above 54.65, and I'm talking about potentially like 54.67, 54.68, if we're not able to do that, then we're potentially going to see ourselves go back down. Now, if we do start to see that, then we potentially might be able to get up all the way into 5,500. Okay. So it's really just going to depend on if buyers can take it past this area right here. Okay. So that's what we're going to be looking for now. And as we can see, every time we get to that level, it seems like we have some hesitation. Just happened. Just okay. Close that. Back.
So one more question for you, Waki. So when it comes to buying and selling, okay, we have 10 contracts per account, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the more number of contracts we have, the faster we get to the number. Is that how that works, or?
No, no, no. So
Okay.
you're using the contracts to leverage the you're using the contracts so that you can leverage the potential to make profits on the play, right?
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you're risking more contracts, that's going to mean that you're risking more money on the table. So if you are in the right direction, then having more contracts does help. But
Right.
if you're not in the right direction, then obviously that is increasingly even much more riskier, right? So
Okay.
you kind of want to just mitigate it based off of um what's currently happening in the market, right? So it's like, is it actually trending as fast as it should, or as fast as you see it potentially supposed to be trending, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's different reasons as to why you would potentially leverage more, but if you're super confident, that's one thing, right? Like
Right.
if you're confident in your trade, then I probably wouldn't leverage all 10 contracts all at the same
Right.
time, right?
Right.
That's where in the course we talk about scaling in, right?
Okay.
So for me right here, scaling in would look like, all right, if I have the idea that we're potentially supposed to be coming down, I'm scaling in by setting a sell here, right? I'm saying
Order
the
filled.
this 65.50 should be going down. Now, if it doesn't go down, or so right now, if we keep trending up, then I know that I was wrong on this trade, right? As
Mm-hmm.
far as it being down, right? So if I just bought 10 of those contracts just now and it started shooting to the skies, I'll be crying, right? But since I only bought one, right? Since I only bought one, at least for now, and it's kind of going back and forth, my
Mm-hmm.
emotions aren't going too crazy at this moment, right?
Right.
Now, if I see another candle come up and it's still a candle that supports my thesis on the trade, then I would potentially decide to put in another sell order, right? To see if it could go my way, right? That would be the idea and the understanding of that. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if I see it continuing to go up, then I would potentially cancel out of this trade. If it starts to continue to trend down, that's when I might start getting more confident, right? So for
Mm-hmm.
instance, if we get up here and it doesn't, like if we get up here and it doesn't keep shooting up, then that's when I start buying more, right?
Okay.
Okay. But no, you wouldn't put all 10 on the table all at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah.
right? And that's another thing to mention too. I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, so after the evaluation, then it's time for you to make your actual money in the account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Order filled.
I think it's gonna start going down now. Let's see. Um, so after you get evaluated and you pass through the 53,000, you want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you're not in a situation where you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm just gonna keep making try to go after 3,000 every day. That's
Right.
not the point, right? The idea is for you to be consistent. So over the course of 10 days, while you're waiting for your payout, you're supposed to be doing just base hits, right? You're supposed to be saying, okay, I think I could do 200 or 300 in a day, potentially, right? And then from
Mm-hmm.
that standpoint, you're telling yourself, well, if I do that, then once I compound that over 10 days,
Mm-hmm.
then and I'm going to get out this trade now since it went over my mark.
Order filled.
If I'm talking about getting into 10 trades, I mean, trading over 10 days, making $200 a day, right? From that standpoint, all I'm telling myself, oh, look at that fake out, took it right back down. See, these are things that happen in the markets. But that's perfectly fine. We could look at another entry now. Yep, took me right out. So these things happen, guys. Like the idea of believing that you're on the right side of the trade, sometimes the market is going to test your patience and go above. Because for what it's worth, it went over where I was thinking it was going to go. So the right decision was made. Now, because I didn't leverage 10 contracts, I only lost $200, right?
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
I get that.
But if I did 10 contracts, then we're talking about it going,
$1,000.
yeah, $2,000, right?
Right.
So, but now if I'm thinking about the trade now, I'm saying to myself, well, the market did fake me out, and look, it's faking other people out again now. So what we see here is what I call and let me see if I could bring it, because okay, there it is. So what I call this here, guys, is when the market is going sideways. You guys might hear me say, guys, hey guys, I believe we're going sideways. That's what this means. It means that we're not trending in one direction or another. Now, typically in those scenarios, what would happen is like it would be like a ping pong, like a ping pong type of idea where it hit here, then it come back down, hit here, come back down. And that's what it's been doing, right? So in situations like those, you're gonna have to have the understanding of patience because you're not really trending anywhere. Is it an opportunity to make money here and there? Well, yeah, sure, potentially. If you wait for it to touch here and then wait for it to touch here, you'll make money. But how fast or not or slow would that try to occur, right? So at that point, you say, well, I don't think it's necessary to just trade sideways action. You're gonna have to wait until you start seeing it trend, and look at what happened, right? We touched this area and then it came right back inside our sideways zone. This would be considered what I would call a sideways zone. So when you guys are seeing that in real time, just understand like this means that this is indecision. This is you guys ever met somebody that's like indecisive?
Yeah.
Y'all don't like people that are indecisive, do y'all? Like we try our best to love everyone, right? But indecisive people sometimes kind of get on your nerves, and now we're trying to break that zone. Now let's see if we can get back inside the zone. If we can't get back inside the zone, it's going to start trending down. But this is what you want to wait for, right? This is what you want to wait for.
Okay.
All of this is just noise here, right? So now it's continuing to trend lower. Let's see if we have some continuation. And if we do have continuation, we should expect for it to reach our previous lows. That would be the next destination for it. But that's if we get continuation, because guess what? Look at it, still trying to come back inside the zone again. Let's see. All right. This looks like continuation here. Here's a quick tip too, guys. If we're seeing a downside trend, typically you would want to wait for, especially if you're on the 1-minute chart, if you want to get the best entry into that trend, then you would want to focus on getting in near the top of the previous candle, right? So being that we broke the trend here and we see that we have all this potential to keep going down, if you would want to ride the trend as though it's going down, you don't buy the sell down here, right? You would wait till we get back to the top of the candle and then decide to take it down. And again, right now, this looks like sideways to me. Even with us breaking the zone temporarily, with us kind of climbing back inside of it, if we change it from a 1-minute chart to a 2-minute chart, we could kind of still see the bodies still stay in the same zone, right?
Yeah.
So it's really just all about what you're seeing on the chart, like how you could tell yourself what's happening in real time to allow you to make, whatever decision you want to make in that time. Focus on the bodies too. Like if you're going to talk about candlesticks, one thing you want to focus on is for entry and exit. I usually like looking at the entering on the wicks, right? The top and the bottom wicks. But if you want to think about and learn about trends, then you focus on these bodies. Like see where the body is still staying in the zone, right? The body is like, think of the body as like pretty much your average in the price action for that candle, more or less. Okay. Where the majority of the price action is occurring is going to be within the body.
Okay.
Right. So we're still here in this zone. And within this zone is only about four points, right? About we're right around 54.64 and 54.68. Okay. Here's my favorite part about these zones though. And this is if you have the patience to wait for the actual trend, right? What happens if there's a breakout on this zone? We get a large amount of points in one direction very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, sideways action, you got to think about it as like agitation. It's like somebody getting on your nerves, right? It's like a school bully. At some point in time, you're going to fight back, right? It's only so much you're just going to sit here and just wait. At some point, you're going to react. And that's what the market does during consolidation. It reacts at some point in time, and then the momentum goes in one direction for a significant amount of time. So essentially, the patience and waiting for the consolidation typically pays off because you get to ride all of that trend, all of that momentum after we've stayed stuck in a zone for a long period of time. I personally think we're going to start trending lower if we don't start to create
Higher highs.
No.
higher highs. Right? Does anybody else see that?
Yeah. Yep.
So we got highs, and then ever since we got this high, we haven't gotten back to these highs, which means we've been getting lower highs. Okay.
Lower
And
high.
typically when you have lower highs signal for downside.
Downside.
And that's what's
Yeah,
happening.
that's what's, yeah.
You guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the trick. Are we going to continue to trend lower? We might get a push back up, but by the time we get a push back up, if we do, that would be your time to say, all right, I now have more confirmation that we should still be trending lower, right?
Ooh, there we go.
Because if we don't create a higher high up here, that means we're going to create a lower high. And we know whatever follows a lower high is usually downside. Okay.
Okay.
What follows? So say that one more time so I can write that down.
So
Typically.
anytime we have so look, this is the green I was talking about. We would get some sort of bounce, but if the high of this candle does not become higher than this one, the previous one, that still signals a lower trend.
Mm.
Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're not overtaking the trend at that point. And that's what's happening right now. If you're not seeing us get above this high, this previous candle's high in this candle, then it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna go the other direction. Okay. That's something you guys always want to make sure you keep in mind. And that's regarding higher lows and lower highs, higher highs, lower lows. All right. A lot of you guys who've been I see a lot of our veterans here that have been with us for quite a while. A lot of you guys know about the lower highs, higher lows, and how significant they are, right? It's very, very, very key to our ability to understand what's going on. This is what I was talking about right here. We're definitely going to get some sort of bounce back. Now, what happens in this candle? Do we overtake this previous candle? I think this candle might. I think this candle might, but we have a couple more seconds to decide. Now, if it doesn't, we know what's to occur. And that's the whole idea of trading, guys. It's not the idea about predicting what's going to happen in the market. It's foreshadowing what should potentially occur next based off of something that happened already. Okay? Based off of something that happened already, now we're telling ourselves, okay, this should happen. It's essentially an if-then statement, right? If you guys, if there's anyone in IT has an understanding of if-then statement, which is if this happens, then that happens, right? That's how you should look at trading. If we don't get a higher low, if we don't get a higher high, then that means we're going to start trending low, right? Now, within this next candle, what we did achieve was a higher low. This low is higher than this low. So if you have a higher low, that means we're trending what? To the other direction. Pretend up. So you got to make sure and the way you know the direction you're going is in the first word, right? If it's higher low, that means you're going up. If it's lower low, that means you're going down, right? So identify that first word, and then it kind of gives you a cheat sheet on what's potentially, to occur, right? Now with this candle, obviously we got rejected here, but how we would know that we're still trending lower is if this next candle opens and we don't get a high, right? That's how we would know. If this next candle opens and we don't get a higher high. But this candle's still forming, and there's the higher high right here. Do we get a follow-up with that? That's the thing. And again, when we're talking about looking at candles, we have to make sure that we're applying patience, because it's not just one candle that tells the whole story. You still have to see if we get continuation. You guys are always going to hear us talk about continuation. You're never going to make a decision based off of only one candle. You're going to want to make sure you get continuation so that you can confirm what's actually happening. Because if you don't, it could also be sideways action. This to me looks like it's still downside, but we need confirmation on that statement. So let's see if we can get it. Here's another higher high. Now, what we know is still active is what? This channel here, right? This side of the channel. So this trend, this horizontal line right here, this price level is still active. Do we break through it? If we break through it, then obviously that means we're going to the upside. All right.
Yeah.
So this is what's happening. Now let's see if we can get continuation. Because remember, this is where we have some turbulence. Okay. Do we get continuation in this next candle? That's the question. Sideways. We're not getting continuation there. And it's trying to stay stuck in this area. It's all a patience game, guys. This is the wonderful thing about being insight, of having insight, because a regular trader potentially would see this candle and then enter into calls up here. Well, why would you do that if you have an understanding that there's some turbulence right here, right? Because then it can come back down. Now, what you want to do is essentially do exactly what just happened. Wait for this next candle. Are we still going to get continuation? That's what we need to find out. If we do get continuation, then that's when we get in. But we don't just get in at the first mention, because what happened? We started getting right back down and came back down into the zone. Let's see if we break out here. Again, we have turbulence again. Okay. We know what's happening. The normal trader does not know what's going on in this area. The normal trader does not see this turbulence here. Do you guys see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
They have no idea why we're not still going up right now. But because we identified it earlier, we were able to foreshadow exactly what would potentially occur. Now, would it have been a bad idea to up here potentially put in a sell order? No. Why? Because this is an area where we see some turbulence. So for the most part, if we put in an order up here for a sell and we start seeing downside, what we know is that we're still in an upward trend. So we're not married to that trade per se. All we're saying is, okay, we can take some quick downside. I know this is a turbulence area. I know we're going to start seeing some red here. So if I take a quick order, I could do maybe 1 or 2 contracts, grab a quick couple bucks, right? And then get in and out of there, right? You guys see that?
Yeah.
Because you know that area, though, and only because you know that area. If you don't understand and know that area and aren't able to identify it, you're not going to be able to be confident enough to make that type of decision, at least from a foreshadowing standpoint. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And look at that.
Yeah.
We're still here in the sideways zone.
Yeah.
This is the importance of making sure you're still charting even during your trading day, because the information is still going to be made relevant for you throughout the course of that trading day, right? You have the understanding that, okay, we were struggling in this area earlier. We broke out of it a little bit. We bounced back inside of it, and now we're still stuck in the same area, okay? This is that friend that every single New Year's, they tell you that they have a New Year's resolution that they're going to go to the gym. They go to for probably a month, okay? They do the new membership, that yearly membership that they always do in January. They give you all the discounts in January because they know that you're motivated by New Year's resolutions instead of just having your own internal instinct to decide to become more like who you're supposed to be, right? And so, but then what happens? You get right back and you get stuck in this area after that first month, right? That's what this sideways zone is. Now, are we going to break out of that? That's what it looks like it's happening right now. Let's see. And what letter does it look like we're forming here?
Head and shoulders.
No, not head and shoulders. What?
A backwards H.
Would that be the inverse H?
Inverse H. There we go. I think I heard
Wait.
Marcel say it.
Oh,
Inverse
okay.
H, okay?
Okay.
One, here's the hump, and then should be going this way, okay? That's what the play would look like. However, we need to break this area.
Okay, need
to break this area. Let's see if we break it. I think we're going to break it, guys.
Mhm.
We're going to break it. I'm looking to see if we can maybe enter, if we can get back in this zone, enter into some calls or some buys to go to the upside. But it just really depends, because we're still struggling in this area. I don't want to get caught. Let's see. What did we talk about, guys? Higher lows, right? And higher highs. Higher lows, higher highs. These are higher lows. This is a low of this candle. This is the low of this candle. What do you call that? A higher low. It's higher than the previous low.
Okay.
So if it's higher than the previous low, you take that first word and apply it to where you should start going. If it's a higher low, then where should we start going? High.
Uptrend.
Right? If it's a lower low, where do we start going? Low.
Down.
Low.
Low.
This low is lower than this low.
Okay.
Right? So where are we going? Low. We're going down. If we're having a lower low, then that means we're going to the downside, okay? We're having
So
higher
it's
highs. Look, this
wick
is a
the
high,
bottom
and this is a high,
before.
then this is a high. Where are we
Okay.
going? We're going high. However, again, new facts are always going to bring new opinions. Over here, we had higher highs. What happened? Then we had a higher low. I mean, then we had a lower high, then another lower high, then another lower high. So if we're having consistent lower highs at that point, we're not necessarily trending that same direction anymore. Okay. That's why you have to make sure you're looking to the left to make sure you're seeing what already occurred in the market. It looks like we're getting the struggle area. I think we're going to be able to make the gym consistent this time.
Yeah.
Let's see. This is where we break out. And remember, I said the breakout is usually when you have multiple, like you're able to like start to see more of a trend faster because the buyers are looking like, all right, is the coast clear? All right, are we ready to go? All right, we're off for liftoff. And guess what, guys? What is happening right now? We're doing what? Lifting off, okay?
Lift off.
Let's see if we get some more continuation. We're coming from which area? 50, 54, 68, right? That was the area that we needed to break free from between 54, 64, 54, 68, right? Now we should start to see longer candles faster because the buyers are looking to take it up. We could get some retests to come back to 56, 68.
Okay.
But for the most part, we're going to start to see some buyer volume very, very quickly. Okay. That's why you want to always make sure you create these these levels. Here's that retest. Now with this retest, we shouldn't see ourselves climbing back inside of this zone. If this is truly upside momentum, we shouldn't see ourselves deep into this zone here. If anything, we should probably tap it, right? A toe touch and then go back up, which is kind of what it did over here, right? It kind of did touch it a bit and then go back up. Let's see if this candle continues to have some higher highs. All right, let's see if the trend stays the same. Are we going to stay above 54.60? I mean, sorry, 54.68. Let's see. This line should essentially be seen as like a trampoline. Okay? You guys got that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This line should be seen as a trampoline. And likewise, on if we were going below, if we're coming down and then we come up here, it should still bounce and come back down. That's how these breakouts occur, okay? We usually do get some sort of retest and then we start to run, okay? So the trampoline is on both ends, okay? If it's going to come up, it'll come down, bounce, come back up. If we're on the downside, it's going to touch it and then bounce and come back down. Everything I'm saying, by the way, this is not like things you're going to read in a book, you know? Like this is hours and hours and hours of watching candles form in real time, right? Like you're not going to read this and say, okay, well, this is usually how this happens. Like, no, this is insight you would get from watching the market. So what am I saying? These are things that I learned while I was trading. You guys are now traders. So what does that mean? They're going to be things that you guys see on your own in your trading. That may be different, maybe not even different, may just be another idea regarding the market and how candles move. It's all going to be based off of your own experience. I think this is where we start to move Let's see if we can get above that 54.70. So at this point, the trampoline has proverbially been bounced off of. Okay.
Mhm.
We bounced off the level already, and we should be seeing that some upside. Let's see if we get continuation. Is there any news or anything, by the way? Is there anything today?
I didn't see any red or orange flags today.
Okay, so we should be good then.
So with the bounce, does it have to touch the line, or does it just get close enough to
It's the
bounce back
zone.
up?
It's the zone. You kind of have to eyeball it, you know?
Okay.
Like it's not gonna move direct, like right, it's not you're not looking for it to touch on the exact marks. If anything, it's an idea, right? It's a zone, it's an area. So
Okay.
you just want to be in the neighborhood. You just want to know, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It might not come to your actual address. It's just, but you're at least when you're in the neighborhood, you're going to be able to catch it. This is what we're talking about right here. You see this candle here? Let's start to see it go up to potentially 54.72. I think we can get as high as potentially 54.75. But obviously we're seeing it continue to trend up.
So where are you looking for it to go before you buy?
Sorry, say it again.
So where are you looking for it to touch before you get into the
So
trade?
so I already missed it. I already missed it, but we would be looking at 54.68. That
Okay.
would be where I would have gotten in. 54.68. If it does touch 54.68, then I'd get in. But that would be the area that I would be looking at. I'm gonna go ahead and set one here too. So I just set an order there. Let's see if it fills. And it's probably not going to, but
Mm.
okay. Would have filled. All right, I just got filled. Now, do we enter into this zone? Yes or no? If we don't, we're going up.
So you did a call or a put?
I got a call.
Oh, okay.
So I bought in. I believe it should keep going up. So let's see. Now, if we enter back into this zone, then it's simple. We get out the trade. But guess what? I have not been in red for long because I stuck to my plan. Made sure I stayed right here at the mark here, right?
Mm.
At that 54.68. Now let's see if we can stay above it. If we can't, I'm just gonna simply exit. That one contract is already up $50-$60 now, right? And it's still going up now. That's from discipline. Now I can exit this trade. This trade hasn't even finished, and I could still actually make money.
Why did you enter there?
Why did I enter down here?
Yeah.
Because that was the buy zone. This was where because guess what? Anytime we test this area, we bounced up. This was the trampoline area.
Okay.
If we knew we weren't gonna be able to get lower than that, then that was gonna be where I would want to buy to go up. See, now I'm up. You see that?
Okay.
That's one contract, y'all. So if I had 10, I'd be up $1,000 already. Right? I'd be up $1,000 already with 10. Now, because it's because we're still waiting on the trade, I now have the decision to either take the opportunity to take the gains or to wait it out and see if I could double down. That's all up to me. But as we can see, a little bit of hesitation can take your profits just like that, quick,
Mhm.
right? This is not for me. This is a demo account. Obviously, I'm not attempting to make money. This is for educational purposes. So I'm literally showing you in real time what could occur as a result of, taking whatever action. Okay. So we waited till it hit the level and it's still bouncing in that area. Do we break below that level? We're not too sure, but we're gonna wait and to see what we have in this next candle. Now that it's coming back up, I have the decision. I can go ahead and take these gains, or I could just continue to wait. Right here, I'm gonna go ahead and take that.
Order filled.
I like what I see. Okay, so we got back into that 54.70 area, and I went ahead and took the gains. But guess what, guys? When you're here, when you decide to use patience and say, okay, I'm gonna get in where I know we probably can't get below, that's where the magic happens. Okay. Because I didn't see red for too long. If you guys were looking at my P&L, how much did you guys see I was down at any point in that trade? Not more than $100. Did you guys see that? And look at how much I'm missing out on even now, which I'm perfectly okay with, because obviously it was just one contract and it's a demo account and this is just for training purposes. But for what it's worth, because of the discipline that I exuded, I only saw probably as much as $50 down, right? Because I waited till we got back into that trampoline area. This right here would probably look like $200 off of one contract. Just this one candle. And this is a 5-minute candle.
Trampoline area.
It's not always the best idea to go into it with a lot of contracts. It's not always a good idea. If you have confidence, then you can do whatever you want to do with that, right? Like, I was pretty confident that we could stay above that 54.68. I don't know if I was 10 contracts confident. I might have been maybe about 5 contracts confident in order to get in. But it may not always be a great idea to do that, especially if you're looking at how we're still we're still kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down, right? I took the opportunity, I think.
Okay, I see.
Okay, you see that bounce, you see the trampoline now?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That was where I decided to enter in. Okay. And I was running. Actually, no, that is where I went. Yeah, so wow. And remember, I told you guys it happens fast. Once we get out of that breakout zone, everything else from there is just gonna happen pretty quickly. And that's what this candle represents right now. Guys, this one candle is already 5, 6, 7. Look at this. Look, where is it going? Okay, that's what happens during the breakout.
Okay, so if you wanted to add more contracts, when do you do that if you see what the trend is?
Oh my God, look at this. So if I wanted more contracts, this is where I would have doubled down at. Essentially where I bought.
Get out of negative.
Where I bought is where I would have doubled down.
Up under 50. I was like, I'm trying to get back up to my 50.
Now, if it came back down into that area again, that would have given me another opportunity. But and obviously I'm teaching you guys at the same time. So I'm talking and executing. So there's a little bit of a delay and a lag in my decision making. But if I was to be on my own trading, I would have waited for both opportunities at the 54.68 level to go, because remember, that was the bounce zone I was telling you guys about. If we break over it, I'll let you guys know there's a potential we're going to retest, right? And during that retest is when the sellers say, okay, are you guys still keeping it above that level? And because it did, this is where you would essentially, put your bets in to be able to go to the upside, okay? And then just moments later is where you start to see this.
So if you missed the opportunity, the bounce to enter the trade, is there another opportunity to enter this trade, or you just wait till it gets to the seller's
Wait
level?
the next one.
Okay.
It's opportunity. We told you, remember, we always tell you guys, right? There's potentially 3 to 5 opportunities per day in the market. And sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less, right?
Mm.
If you miss an opportunity, there's always another opportunity, right? This candle didn't exist yesterday, right?
Right.
Davina, you crossed over your 3,000 I think today actually.
Oh, yesterday.
Yesterday, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. Yes, okay, Sunday, right. Sunday's evening session. This candle did not exist yesterday, right? Me-
Mm-hmm.
Meaning what? There's an opportunity every single day, literally, right? So, if you miss a trade, it's okay. There's still going to be another one, and there's still going to be another one, and there's still going to be another one, and then there's also still going to be another one after that.
It seemed like it hit a seller's level, or is it just
It may have. Then you also have some things in the market I like to call psychological key levels. And
okay?
those are usually your round numbers. I don't know if you guys heard me say that in some of the videos. Those are your round numbers.
Yeah.
80, 70, 60, 50, 40, right? You're 75, 85, 95, right? You're not really looking at the ones and 1.5s and 2.5s, right? It's the zeros and the fives usually at the end. Those are psychological key levels, meaning those are potential levels where you should expect some interaction, right?
Mm.
So that's just something to keep in mind as you're trading through your day. And then when you see it, then you say, oh, yeah, that's because it's psychological key level, right? Like where was the top of this one? 5480.
Yeah. Okay.
Top of
Round
this one.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just something to just keep inside of you, just so that you can say, okay, I know what's potentially happening here and now, or I know what might happen here, right? You're already in profit. Like imagine I'm still in this trade. And like I said, I took the gains, I think at 54.6, 54.70, right? If I waited up here and then I started seeing a struggle up here, and then I look here and I'm seeing 54.79, 54.80. Oh yeah, I'm getting out of there. I know exactly what's happening.
Mm.
It's
Okay.
the insight. It's the insight that allows you to have the confidence in what you're doing, right? We're all more informed than we were yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So when you have that insight, that's what's going to allow you to take action. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So also, Waki, this is I don't know if anybody else needed this question. However, I know you use the 2, the 5, 15, 30. Is that what
Yes.
you got?
So I
Okay,
use,
so that
yeah.
2-minute chart is good for my my mental health.
Sorry, you said what, Leslie?
Sometimes that 2-minute chart, you know,
Mm-hmm.
psychologically it's like, oh, so is that recommended and I just need to kind of deal with looking at that chart, or can I just do 5, 15, 30 an hour?
So I like the 2-minute chart for different purposes. Like, and
Okay.
that's the thing about like your journey, is because you're gonna start finding like different things you can add. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I like when this happens, so I'm gonna use this. Like, if I start to
Okay.
see like in action in the market on the 1-minute chart, then I want to see the 2-minute, because it's not as much data as the 5-minute, but it kind
Mm-hmm.
of gives me a clear understanding than the 1-minute, right? Or I might even go to the 3-minute chart, right? So
Okay.
for me, the smaller increments for me, like look at the 3-minute chart looks a lot cleaner than the 1-minute chart, but it's
Right.
still telling the same story. So what am I
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm saying that for me, the 3-minute chart is basically just the 1-minute chart, but kind of like cleared up a little bit. So
Okay.
it's still serving the same purpose potentially, but it's just easier on my eye, right? Because if I look at the 3-minute chart, if I go to the 1-minute chart, it's like a lot of wicks, it's like a lot of things going on, and I might not need the 1-minute chart right now. I might need the 1 minute chart if I'm trading like actively, but if I'm trying to like sit back for a second, like look at Marcel right now, right? He's leaned back, he's just analyzing what's going on. If I'm just doing that, then I got the 3 minute on. I'm not looking at 1 minute like chilling right now because what the 1 minute's not going to let me chill, right?
Okay.
The 3 minute will though, because it's not as volatile and it's going to be easier for you to see sideways action, right? How easy is can we see? We can't really see sideways if it's every single tick is changing colors and things like it's too much, right? Potentially for that period of time. So
Right.
everything is just going to be about what you're using it for at what period of time. Like you see on my screen now, you don't really get like the massive up and down like how you get on the 1 minute chart. And that could be good for that could allow you to rest a little bit as far as your mental capital. Because if you're just watching it up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down every day on the 1 minute chart, that could kind of impact your anxiety a bit, right? But
Right.
if you want to still see the same information, but just with less jumpiness, if you
Right.
will, then that 3 minute chart, I like just kind of just switching it a little bit, So, because look at it now. What I'm seeing on the 3 minute chart, I might not see on the 1 minute chart. And what I see is sideways action. The body candles are essentially aligning together, right? Now it looks like we might be breaking out here. So this is maybe when I would want to change to the 1 minute chart to see, okay, something's potentially going on. Looks like we're potentially retracing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. It's coming right back down to this level. So this is when I would want to stay on the 1 minute chart because
Okay.
now I'm in action. Now I'm saying, okay, I'm ready to make a decision.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Do you think it's going to bounce back up?
So then that's the laws we're gonna look at here. What we're gonna say to ourselves here is we're gonna want to see us bounce on this 54.68 level. If we don't, it might come back down. It might retrace all the way back down, right? So again, we're here in the area of interest. Now we want to see what the interaction is in the market. Are we going to go back up? Are we going to go down? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. But it's going to be dependent on what the interaction is at this level. All right. Do we bounce or do we break through? Now, if we slice through, then we should probably continue to start seeing some heavy downside. And at this point, we've already retraced this long candle. We've already retraced it, right?
Yeah.
In almost the same amount of time. So this whole run is like completely non-existent right now. You can pretty much do this to your chart right now,
Right.
right? Now, unless this candle starts to move back up, then now we care about all that happened up there. But if it doesn't, this is what our day looks like right here.
Mm. Okay.
So all of this analysis is still active at this point because of us retracing. And like I said, that only happens as a result of a retrace, meaning we saw all this upward momentum, but now we're back to where we were before. Okay.
Mm.
Now, if we start to see highs again, now we're inviting this data back into our trading day. But if we don't and we start getting downside, then none of that really even mattered. That would really just mean that was a fake pump, what we call like a pump and dump essentially.
Okay.
Right? Look at that. Remember, guys, new facts bring new opinions. You're always going to want to make sure you're fluid in the market. And that's why you want to stay close to your exit button whenever you decide to make quick adjustments to what you're doing. Because up here, you're probably thinking, oh, we're going to keep going up. And then you see this long candle down. Press that exit, get on out of there. We're switching sides. We got to be fluid. We're never going to be held, we're never held by our feet to the fire on a trade. You always got to be able to be fluid. Having less contracts also allows you to be fluid. because then your emotions aren't as tied to the trade. Okay. If I only have one, remember that one contract, remember I told you guys this is the equivalent of like having a penny, of trading a penny. You're not
I
too,
think it's going down.
yeah.
We're in lower lows, isn't it?
It's we're creating lower highs right now.
Lower
Yes.
highs,
So
okay.
we're also creating lower lows too. These are lows too, right? Lower highs and
Lower.
lower lows. Yes, that's exactly what we're creating.
Okay.
So potentially, if the next candle on the 1 minute chart trends down, would that be a spot where you would get in?
Getting so anything I would be getting into now would be to the downside. Now, where I would
Okay,
be getting in, I would be looking at the wicks on the candles,
right.
right? So for this candle, I would be trying to get in on this up here. I would set a sell order right here, and that's where I would set it.
Okay.
Right? You wanna put yourself in the best position to win. Okay. Because if you buy a sell order down here, we already and now you're losing, right?
Mm,
Now you're losing on this trade. But if you were to get in near the top of some of these wicks where you understand that there could be, more sellers to push it back to the downside, right?
Okay.
Look at what's happening here now. Again, coming back down. It kind of stayed up here and then coming back down. So you're seeing in real time why it's necessary for you to wait to get in um on those trades. This is still a bounce level, y'all. So we want to see if we can peak below it. But even while we're here in this zone, we're still able to do things like buy at the top of some of these wicks, buying sell orders, right? Buying puts at the top of these wicks. Boom.
Boom.
I told you
Nice.
guys it's gonna slice right through it, right? Slice right through it. Doesn't care about it now because it had already went through it. Now this is again another bounce level, but
Slicing
we're
right
gonna
through.
get through. That's the question. We knew it was gonna slice through it though.
And if it slides through that, it's coming down to this bottom,
We should be ending up around here.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this is still an area. Remember, this is
Yeah.
still an area. So that's why it's still
So yeah, bouncing. Okay.
it initially sliced through, and that's why you have to again stay very close to your exit button because around this area is where once it sliced through like that, and you see it touch that zone, you know that there's issues here, right?
Yeah.
mm,
You know that
yeah.
already because you have it notated. So you
Mm,
don't care about all this going on because you've already gotten out because of your understanding. Again, the insight. You already have the insight on what's precisely happening, right? You knew that something was going to happen here. And whatever it was, being that you're already in puts, you don't want to be the one to lose your profits and it start rising all the way to the top, right? So just
Mm-hmm.
set yourself.
Okay. So you can essentially set yourself there to get out once it hits that
Yeah.
level. Okay.
Because you click the level, right? So if you
Mm-hmm.
have this level selected, right? If you already know which level you're looking at, you could probably just maybe peek a little bit above it, and then
Yeah.
hey, since I'm already in the cell, I could then
Just
buy at this,
die. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
and then up here at the top, right? Same thing. If I'm already in buys up here, I know 40, 54.80 is coming, sell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then since you're already in buys, once it touches, it's gonna get you out of there.
Okay.
Okay.
Sweet.
That's another way to trade those levels. Again, we test we
Okay.
test we test
Retest.
that level. We
So
test it.
it's retesting the level.
Retesting the level exactly.
Okay.
Now, if you don't have this line drawn, right, then you have no idea what's going on right now. There's some new traders that have absolutely no idea why this is occurring right here. because they don't have that line drawn, because they don't understand what's potentially happening. They don't even understand what this green is about. Why is this green here? What's going on? It's supposed to still be going down, right? It's all about patience, because it might still break, which it looks like it's doing right now, but it's still getting hung up in that area, right? So instead of having your emotions played within this area, get in and get out. Like, you're here for a good time, not a long time. Get in there, get out of there, make your money, and move to the next trade.
Okay.
How did we know that we weren't going to trend upwards and when we bounced on this level? How do we know? Because we started having lower highs. We never got back above here. We touched it and we never got back above. Everything else is going to be lower.
Lower highs and lower lows. Okay.
This was definitely a great trading session. We have about 2 minutes left. Let me know you guys have any questions for me? How did this feel so far? Did you guys feel like, look at this candle? Look at this candle. Nobody else knows why that candle's there. Nobody. I promise you. These new traders here that they're not informed, they don't have the insight, they have no idea what happened just now. But you do though, because we already had it. We already had it, right? Anybody have any questions for me?
You got a question?
Yeah. Trying to think what it was now. I forgot it.
I have a question.
Sure.
So say the price breaks through that level and comes down. I see that there's a wick on that long green candle to the left. Is it, yeah, that one. Is it gonna get hung up there before it comes down to the buyer zone?
No, it should get through this.
Okay.
This, yeah. I'm more so looking at this level right here.
Yeah.
Or where you should end up, because it looks like it's trying to break right now. This would be considered an H pattern, but very, very slightly. An H pattern, by the way, guys, is just a retest of levels. Okay.
Okay.
Bounces.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's coming down.
More downside.
Down. It's coming down.
Now we could probably still break. Yeah, it's gonna break. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna break. I was just about to say we could probably still break that level pretty easily because there's nothing really holding it. It's only 2 points here.
Okay.
On the 1 minute chart. This would be the next level I'll be looking at. Right? This level here too. This level and this level will be the two. And I'm only looking backwards. I'm only seeing where we got hung up. This is a lot of good money right here, guys. Oh my goodness.
It is a great day. I wish I was traded.
Yeah, this is good downside.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So, Wazzy, what I was trying to think of,
yeah.
When you hit the trampoline level, you mentioned that's when it bounces. As soon as it hits, is that when you buy or sell? Or?
Yeah, so it depends on what side of the trade you're looking at, right? When you're talking about and when I say trampoline, it's really just so you guys can understand the analogy, but it's really what we call our buy and sell zones. Okay. So if we've already broken the zone, but then we retest the zone, at that point in time, what we're telling ourselves is, okay, I know it's already supposed to be trending up, and now we're retesting. For me to know that we're still trending up, I have to stay above this level, this 54.68 level. Okay. Hold on. So let me show you guys something. Okay. So So when it came here, right? See, because we were of the belief that we were going up. Once it touched this level for the first time, what we're seeing is that that would be considered a retest. We broke a zone, and now we're retesting that same zone. What we're saying is, for us to still stay up, we would have to make sure that we don't break even further below where the zone was, right? So this would be where we would decide to buy, because it's essentially the lowest point of entry on going up.
Yeah.
After
Okay.
the retest. The lowest point of entry as we're trending up on the retest, that's where you want to enter.
Oh,
Okay. So for instance, this trade right here, now being that we see that it went down, we have the understanding that we're still trending low. But on this green candle, okay, on this green candle, we almost touched this area. So if we were to say, and let me just kind of extend it here, right? We almost touched this area, right? Which, and like this is what I was telling you earlier, Davina. When we're talking,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to have it necessarily touch exactly.
Yeah.
We're actually there. So
So
based on the fact that we know it's there, this would have been where we would decide to
sell.
order.
Okay. Because that support turns into resistance now.
Correct. Thank
Okay.
you. Correct. That's absolutely right. Now, with that being said, when you decide for this to be where you're to buy, keep something in keep something this is a tip that I do, right? When I'm actually buying, when I want to get into a buy order, I actually wait for a red candle.
Mm.
See, you got to think opposite, right? I'm basically playing defense. I'm telling you, all right, I believe the best in you, even though it doesn't look too good right now, because I can see how far you can go. Okay, so I'm buying it while it looks like it's damaged goods. I'm buying it
Okay.
because it's cheap, right? Same thing over here, right? Same idea. If I'm buying a sell order, this is a green candle, and I'm buying a sell order, that doesn't make sense. No, it makes perfect sense, because what
The
happens right
next
after are two
candle.
long candles.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're to train your mind to think like that,
Okay.
it's actually going to increase your ability to be profitable on that trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at that point in time, you're telling yourself, I need to see something different. Like if you're on this candle right here, what you're saying is, I need this candle. I need you to show me that you're not who I think you are. You're a nice person. But if you come down here, that means you're a mean person. If you're a mean person, I don't want you. Right? But up here, you showed me that you're nice, right? You show me you're nice. All right, cool. This is where you decide to go on the date, right? But if you show me otherwise, I'm not gonna go ahead and get into buy orders. So that's what you're telling yourself at that point in time. And that's why you're getting
Okay.
in red candle. You're
Okay.
getting in on
So
this red candle because you're basically betting on the potential that the next candle is gonna be green. You're betting on the next potential that the next candle is gonna
and
be
it's
red.
gonna be red. Okay.
It's gonna help you.
Yeah.
To help you.
And what you're doing is you're capturing your profit because you're already in, excuse me, already in the trade, and as soon as that candle moves down, you're literally gaining all that profit and not
Correct, correct.
losing
Now
anything.
this is
Okay.
this is if you're either in the trade or if you're not in the trade already. If you're not in the
Okay.
trade already, this is still where you want to buy, right?
Okay.
Because you're telling yourself, I believe that this is supposed to be where it's supposed to bounce and go up,
Go up. Okay.
right? That
Okay.
that would be your understanding. So you're waiting for your chariot at that point. You're saying, okay, this is like buying a distressed home, right? But it's in a really good area. And they're building a mall down the street,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then the airport is doing renovations. This is that home. This is like that boarded up home that is abandoned, okay? But you already seen you see the you see the neighborhood is about to be nice though,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're waiting for it at that point, and then that's where you decide to get in. That's how you want to look at those levels, and also that's how you want to look at which candle you're opening in on, right? Because if I get in on a red candle, psychologically, most people are thinking that it's probably going to maybe still stay red. But if it starts to go green, then that's when all my money starts to, come in. And likewise, same thing on the other end,
And
right? And this is even exponentially more true with options trading. This is even more exponentially true with options trading. If you're buying down here in options, by the time it comes up here in only a minute, oh my God.
yeah.
Oh my God.
That's good, huh?
I see it now because the trade that I got into yesterday that I was waiting on from since Friday, it formed a doji green candle. So what you're saying now really makes sense because what I should have done was entered in on that candle because it opened where it closed on Friday and I missed a lot of that gain because it shot up so fast. So if
Yeah.
I entered in on the candle from Friday, I would have gotten all that gain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It makes sense now.
Yeah. So it's gonna really just be about entering in on a specific uh level or a specific, like, it's just gonna help you like think about things differently, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and it's gonna give you anticipation, but at the same time, you want to believe your eyes too. Like if you get in here and then the next candle opens and then we're deep in the zone, like you got to tell yourself the truth at that point,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's if you're in a buy order. But if you're in the buy and the next candle opens up and it's bright green like this,
Mm-hmm.
like that second trade you guys saw me take, I didn't see that was when I entered in over here. I didn't see but $50 down potentially, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe at the most, $50 down. I ended up taking $100 profit, but the run didn't even happen yet, right? I didn't even wait until this whole candle formed. This would have probably been about, I want to say 1,500 off of that, just that one just that one contract.
Nice.
Just that one contract would have brought 1,500. So 10, I mean, just do the math, right? But again, you still want to, because guess what? Imagine buying 10 buys over here, and then you get smothered very, very quickly, right?
Quickly.
You don't want that. You don't want that to be your scenario. So, yeah. Anybody have any other questions?
No, but I do have a comment. So I've noticed that when there's big moves in the market, after
Mm,
the big moves, there's usually consolidation that
yeah.
happens.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes. So after the big move, things kind of decide to stabilize a bit. And so, you know, it's always just important to just conserve your mental capital. If you've already made money on your big move, why are you spending time in front of the computer for an extra $50 off of it?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense. You're not leveraging your time wisely at that point, right? Because you're telling yourself, I can make $1,000 in 1 minute, but then I'm waiting for 30 minutes to make $50. It just doesn't make sense,
Wow.
right? It
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense. Like at that point in time, you're actually like, if how I would see that is essentially giving money back to the market because your time is going to be is your most valuable asset,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So you make your money, get out of there. Wait till tomorrow or
Yeah.
whatever. Like you want to just only trade during those time periods because if nothing is going on, then you're just giving your time to the market, which is more valuable than the money is given back to you,
Mm.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
That's wisdom. Yeah. Don't give your time to the market.
Yeah. I mean, because if I
Yeah.
can make like making $1,000 in an hour is a pretty good idea, right? It's a pretty good idea, right? Would you
Yep.
guys agree?
Yeah.
Making $1,000 in an hour is a pretty good idea. But like making $100 in 30 minutes is like, especially if you're in the market and you're giving your time and attention and your will, your hope, your anticipation to the market, and you're in front of the computer for 2 hours, 3 hours to make like $200, like it's not worth it, right? Um,
Mm.
You want to also make sure you're carrying your confidence to the next day. You have a good trade, you make your 2000. The worst thing you're going to want to do is stay in the market and then lose 3.
Leave it all, yeah.
Because now your 2000, the 2000 you celebrated, now you're looking at it like it was in vain. Now you almost wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, been
Right?
there.
So now
Yep.
your blessing, you yourself turned it into a curse. Like you yourself turned into a curse because you didn't make the right decision at that point in time. You don't want to be in that scenario. Take that 2000, eat it, breathe it, live it. Like you need to enjoy that moment of your day because that's what you carry into the next day that will allow you to say, okay, I'm going to be a profitable trader again today.
Yep.
Did you go get your vegan meal?
I did.
Good. Good way to memorialize it.
Yes. I was
Absolutely.
like, I said to myself when once I make my 3,000, I am gonna do something special because
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
it was a process. So
Yeah,
I'm very proud.
absolutely, absolutely. And
Proud of
now,
you. Yeah. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You grab
yes,
a hold to it and you move it, sister.
absolutely. And
More
so
wisdom, watching the wealth of wisdom you come from you, man, is amazing. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
I
that.
love the way you do the analogies.
Yeah.
Like, you talking about the trampoline or
Oh yeah,
or just your different, because it makes you think differently. It's almost kind of like,
yeah. I've seen myself jumping to the
being
right
the
one,
disciples and Jesus is giving all the parables and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Now I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys. That's great feedback. You know,
You need to write a book, brother. Wealth and Wisdom, man. Wise and Wealth or something. Yeah, you
I
got some good
definitely
analogies, man.
yeah.
Yes,
I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate that. I'm definitely looking at working on that. So
Oh yeah, oh, good.
yeah.
We're
Wow.
really looking forward to this week.
Yeah,
Yes.
We're gonna
absolutely,
have an
absolutely.
amazing time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
1,000, yeah, absolutely, guys. Great stuff.
I'm
Great stuff. I'm excited. Um, but yeah, y'all, it looks like we're kind of hitting that area where we're now starting to get more of that consolidation we were talking about. You see some of these candles start getting smaller and smaller. When we start having less candles that look this long, that's how you know that the consolidation starts happening, especially when it's kind of back to back. And when we get zones like this, right? Like when we start seeing ourselves kind of stuck in different areas.
Yeah.
So as you're trading in your day, you want to notate those things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really see the importance to how you draw your zone lines, ahead of time, and so you
Yeah.
know what it is you're looking for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And all you have to do is just go to drawing tools here on the left side and go to horizontal line and just create it. You can also do a channel as well. Just get creative with using these drawing tools just for your own benefit. You guys will start seeing that there's going to be things you might attach to your trading style as you start to learn and have your edge. Remember, guys, this is all about finding your edge. And when we say finding your edge, is as simple as everything I talked about just now pertaining to, okay, I know when this happens, then this happens, then this happens, and based on this, then this, that's your edge, right? Some people don't know about trend lines. Some people don't know about higher lows, lower highs. Some people don't really care about them, but they're still able to make money. Why? Because they found their edge. And as you continue trading during the day, you just want to figure out what your edge is. What time of day do you like to trade? What kind of trades do you like? Like I figured out, like, oh wow, if I get in on a red candle, then the next one might be green. That's going to increase my ability to be profitable. Why don't I just try that out? One day I tried it and I made 5 figures in that day. Okay. So it's kind of just like
Great
if you
tip.
just figure things out for your own trading style and then you start apply, now that it's applied as truth. Now I can share it with you guys.
Yep. I'm
Right?
definitely gonna try that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
It
look
makes
for
sense to me. So I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna try it.
Yeah. See how that works for you. And then you can then decide to apply it as truth or not. Okay, this worked for me. Now I'm gonna attempt to do it every single time. See if you still get the same result. this is a journey. Like, this is just about figuring out what type of person you are, what type of trader you are, what kind of confidence you have in yourself, what kind of patience you have, what your diligence is. This is you versus yourself, guys. And the best part about it is that this is the best place to be gainful, because
Yep.
if you can master your own self, the market is going to treat you very, very well.
Yep. It sure
And one
is.
thing you're going to want to make sure you do is over a period of time, allow these lessons you're learning in the market to become real in real life, because then it can exude itself through your trading. Your patience can exude itself through your trading. Your understanding, your diligence, it can exude itself through your trading. Some of you guys might be timid in other areas of life, but find yourself being very, very confident in trading. Now you could take that and transfer that skill set into these other arenas.
Yeah.
This isn't just about making money. Like, to look at a chart and tell yourself I could create income from things moving up and down, your life is different. You think differently.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks like you anymore. You don't have anything in common with other individuals outside of your community. You just don't, right? Like, you have a different understanding of even how money works, how fast these things occur, what kind of possibilities there are.
Oh, yeah.
Your Monday is different, right? Your Friday is different,
Yeah.
right? Now your week to month goals, they're all different. Everything's different.
Different. Yeah.
Now your outlook on what kind of opportunities are out there for you changes. There's a different outlook. Everything is measured. You could decide to say, okay, today I'm going to learn how to, or today I want to make $200 in the market today. And now you understand what $200 looks like in the market, how fast it can be made, right? How tangible it is. Now, if you can see how tangible it is to make $200 in the market, now apply that to real life. What does $200 look like in person? And what could $200 offer you? What could $200 get for you? If you can make $200 in 2 seconds in the market, like, the value of $200 outside is just, it lessens significantly.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
It doesn't
It
even
really
matter to you
does.
anymore.
Like, do I want to give 2 hours? Do I want to give 20 hours?
Exactly.
It's like, no.
Now you have more perspective,
Yes.
right?
Quasi, this is why you said, I'll never forget one thing I first met you. You said confidence is a currency. And
Yes.
you said having confidence in yourself. So that's the mindset we got to have when we start gazing at these charts and stuff. The
Yeah.
confidence, you gotta gather that first, right?
Yes, absolutely. Confidence is the currency to cash flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Currency to cash flow. And that's in every arena.
That's a
That's not just
proverb.
trading. That's not just trading. That's in every arena. You can't
Yeah.
tell someone that has cash flow that is not confident. I would really, really try. I mean, I could almost put whatever money on the line and challenge that. Anybody who has made consistent cash flow is a confident individual in every any arena in life. You need confidence in order to have cash flow. There is no opportunity for you to be timid to create cash flow. It's just impossible.
Confidence.
Every single example of high net worth people regarding cash flow, there's always a confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Confidence. Just look at every single person that you potentially have seen that could potentially be an example of someone you want to potentially become or be like.
Yeah.
If they have consistent cash flow, they are confident individuals. They
Right.
are timid. Do you
Mhm.
want to do you want cash flow? That if that answer is yes, then you have to come to the door with confidence. If you do not come to the door with confidence, congratulations, you don't deserve cash flow.
Wow. Read what you sow, right?
Period.
Oh, I got confidence.
Right?
Mm.
And you can never behave in a manner that is inconsistent of who you believe yourself to be.
Right.
You're never gonna consistently behave in a manner that is inconsistent with who you believe you are to be, right? Or who you believe you are, right?
Yeah.
For instance, nobody here considers themselves to be a bank robber. So you're never going to walk around anywhere feeling like a bank robber. But guess what?
Right.
There's so many people that have never seen themselves as a bountiful and abundant person when it comes to the amount of cash in their wallet. They haven't
Yeah.
even sat down and thought about it. And that might be the reason why we're not achieving it. Maybe it's just thought. Maybe if we adopt the thought and then start to behave out of that thought and that belief,
Yes.
maybe
Right.
then we would become who we believe because guess what? At the end of the day, like I said, we will always, or we would never behave in a manner consistent that is inconsistent of who we believe we are.
Right.
I'm consistently not a bank robber. Everybody on this line is consistently not a bank robber. Consistently. Why? Because we believe we're not.
Right.
Right.
A bank robber believes he or she is a bank robber. That's the funny part about it. A bank
Right.
robber is always going to, a bank robber is never going to look in the mirror and say, I don't rob banks. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So as real as their reality is, so too is our reality. My reality is I've never robbed a bank before. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's my reality. So I'm living currently in that reality, and that I'm living consistently in that reality. Right? So, and this isn't just an idea of just, like just changing belief as far as who you believe you are, but it's also now we have a skill set too. Like it's a skill set, and we can use these life lessons and inject them into the skill set so that we can now become even much more bountiful and much more abundant. See, a lot of people like giving mindset, and then it's like, all right, how are we gonna make the money now? And then we start looking at each other. This is a skill set. And the best part about this skill set is you can now use this skill set in every arena of life. But while you're using it here, this skill set is still going to allow yourself to become even more abundant in all the other areas of life as well. Right?
Yeah.
Like I have one of our students, and he joined us in person, and he said, man, my wife, she's like, man, you're really into this. Like, and he said something. He said, she's never seen me so like diligent before. And he said it's changed our relationship. I was like, that is so powerful.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is so powerful. Like to be able to take a skill set, apply it to your life, and let that like leak into. I'm just imagining like, okay, as a woman, you're watching your man like diligently, like in front of the
Do
computer,
something,
figuring
yes.
it out every single day. Like I could just imagine like just a woman going crazy for that. Like, oh my gosh, like I've never seen this before type of idea. And for me, I think that's really what we're really after, right? We're not really just after the money. Like sometimes it might just be a feeling. Like he may have not felt that feeling before potentially of his potentially seeing him being diligent in something. And there's not an amount of money that he could have had to purchase that feeling. Right? So, at the end of the day, it's all about applying the skill set to our life, and then on both ends, we'll just continue to see the benefit, you know.
Yes.
So, anywho, I hope that helps you guys.
It sure did.
That's very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wes.
Thank you.
Welcome. Sorry, guys. I know I talk too much. It's just
No,
No.
No,
We
we're
are.
here.
Thank you,
all right.
Waxy.
You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. I'll see you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you,
All right,
Russ.
guys. Yep.
See you Thursday.
Yeah,
All right,
see
guys.
you in
Hey, we're gonna get a weather update tomorrow, Watson.
You said what?
We're gonna get a weather update for
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah. I got y'all with the level. What?
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. I got you,
Thank
man.
you, weatherman.
Got the rain to come. Sun to catch.
All right, y'all. Y'all take it
All
easy.
right, y'all take care.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Thank you.